Welcome to the SCV Connected podcast with my neighbor, Kelly O'Keefe. Today's special guest is my mom, Megan Pratchard. Enjoy this episode and make sure to share this with a friend.
Let's get right into it. Do a little rapid fire.
Okay.
So I have a couple questions.
Okay.
If you could be any Disney character, which one would it be?
I would pick Moana.
Moana, tell me.
She's positive. She's a very big positive light, which I like. Yes. She's very determined, and she lives in Hawaii.
Nice.
So
oh
I'm
my
gonna
gosh,
go with
I
Moana.
love it. Okay. What about if you could have an unlimited supply of anything?
Okay. The first one that comes to mind is obviously like money, because you can help as many people as you can and do as much as you can. But then I was thinking knowledge. Like to know everything would be,
you wouldn't need Google.
Right.
Oh
and my husband's the one that, like, if the car's broken, he fixes it. And it's like, that would be really cool if I knew what to do with all the things. So
oh my gosh,
maybe
you're
that
good
one.
at this. Okay. What about favorite holiday?
Maybe Thanksgiving. I like that one. I really like, we always have a tradition where we go around the table and say what we're thankful for.
Aww.
And I like hearing everybody's, especially my kids now since they're older. I like the gratefulness of it, but decorating Valentine's Day because I like hearts.
How did you get into real estate to where you are now? Because you're really successful. You're a mother-daughter team.
Yep.
So it's Megan and Lynneve.
Yep.
Keeping real estate personal.
Yes. We're a mother-daughter team. So my mom has been in the business since I was 7. She got into it because she wanted to have a career where she was home and yet also successful. So that was important to her and in turn became a goal of mine. Okay. So I used to go to work with her and she had office meetings that we would go to and I would pitch her listings. So I would get up in front of all of the agents and say, hi, my mom has a new listing. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. You know?
Oh my gosh, that's
and
so cute.
I loved it. And I just, throughout the years, I loved that she was home with us and yet also super successful and kind of painting that image for me.
Did you ever see her struggle though, to get it started? Like, I got to study for the test or I got to,
Yeah, and there was a lot of times where she was home and my kids give me grief about this too, but always in the office or on the phone. And right when we get home from church, she'd go to the office and check the voicemail. And it's like, yes, there's always balance to it.
Okay.
But to me, it was just something I always loved. And even, it's funny, because even going to college, when you have friends that are looking for apartments, I was the first one that's like, I want to help you. I want to look. So I would go online and I'd look at all the things and can I go with you to tour them?
Oh my gosh,
and
how funny.
without even at the time putting it together that's
you did
literally what my job does. Oh yeah. I loved it. That's just something I enjoy.
Funny.
So it perfectly tied in. I got my license in college.
But you still went to college, so you weren't just like, I'm going to do this. You were like, let me go to college.
I wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah. I knew I didn't need it. I mean, this isn't a profession where a degree is mandatory, but I wanted it. I wanted the experience. I also think college is a good time to grow up. I mean, moving out and not having to be responsible for all bills and all things. That would have been kind of shell-shocking, but no, it was good. I got my degree in communication studies. The person that told me to get communication studies said, you can pay someone to do your taxes. You can pay someone to do most things in your life, but you cannot pay someone to speak for you.
Ooh, that's really good advice.
I loved that.
So true.
So
how many years have you been in the business?
I counted this morning because I knew you were going to ask me that, and it's not something I think about. It's been 15 years, which is just mind-blowing. I got my license my last year. I graduated early, so I got my license in 2007, was done in December, and then started 2008 in January.
Can you think of a moment that was just like, you're like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing?
I think of that all the time.
All the time?
I honestly love this job.
Really?
I love it.
Okay. Even when it goes dips down or recessions or when it gets do you get scared?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's not something that's constant, which, well, the job is constant, but it's not constantly easy. It's not constantly, you always have something. Sometimes there's a lull. Sometimes when the interest rates go high and everybody kind of gets scared. I mean, when COVID first hit, we thought that was going to be, everybody thought, oh my God, everything's going to stop. Little did we know it was going to turn into the craziest time I have ever seen in real estate. So, you just never know. You never know. And there's always that thought of, oh no,
Has it ever made you want to jump ship and go to a different industry or no? That's good.
I love it.
Okay.
I love what we do. I love that we get to work with people and make such an important decision with them this is their home. They're going to live there
Right.
forever or until they move again. And then we can help them with that next step. But it's just fun.
Oh, is every guest like just so excited to get the keys? Like
Oh,
every
yeah.
homeowner?
That's a good day.
Aw,
That's
that
a
is
good day.
so
We
cute.
kind of do a little design now where we try, if we can, get there early and do, champagne and wine flutes and cookies. And I mean, it's a big day.
Yeah.
You are now, especially if it's your first home, it's like
My goodness.
you're a homeowner now. And
That's
it's
so
just
cute.
really exciting. So
What's something though about the business that you didn't expect?
I think getting into it, you think that you have to do it a certain way. Okay. So there are people, and this isn't good or bad. There are people that get their business cold calling or door knocking. I don't like those things because I don't like them done to me. I hate when I get sales calls. So I think I discovered that just being a good person and communicating and creating community with people nearby, that business comes naturally. It comes organically. I love that.
Did your mom have to start out though, like door knocking?
She did.
She did?
She did start out door knocking, but I think it was a very different time. We didn't have social media, especially. We didn't have, she had bus benches with her picture on it. And it's like, we don't even have that option now.
Yeah.
There's no advertising that way. But they didn't have rings. That's another reason I don't want to door knock right now. Everybody sees you coming
they're
and is
gonna
like,
know.
I'm not answering the door.
That's true.
It's just different. It was a completely different business mindset at that time. And now it's also personality-wise. I wouldn't enjoy that. It wouldn't bring me joy, and therefore I wouldn't be as happy at your door anyway because I'd be like,
Have you ever done like a booth somewhere though? Or
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. We've done business expos. We did a bridal expo.
Oh, how fun.
We did.
Because the next step is to get a home?
Yeah.
Is that why?
Yeah, we did that. And then we used to be very active at St. Terry. That's the church I grew up in. We did business expos with them. And that was nice. We enjoy that. I want to be here for you if you want to talk to me, but I am not going to bug you. I don't want to bug people because I want to be bugged.
Right. How do you stay at the forefront of like your clients' minds? Like you don't want them to forget about you, but when they go to like, if they're interested in a home, you want them to remember you.
Yes.
So do you do like client events? Do you do like, what do you do to,
Yes.
do you like message them a lot or like send them a card?
We try, yeah.
Okay.
We do our anniversary cards. So we remember on your anniversary that you closed and send you a little goodie on that day. We do client events. That's a big one for us. So this last one was my favorite that we've ever done. It was a luau. And we did it actually this time in my backyard. And we had a stage and actual like fire dancers and hula people. And they got up and taught the haka. And we had Mai Tais and food catered. And it was just so fun.
I'm feeling that Moana element, like tying back in.
That's funny. But before that, and we try and do every other year because we do one adults only and then one with kids. So we get different people at each one, it's fun because some people don't want to get a sitter and don't want to come out. And that's fine. And they might skip that year. But then the next year at the family event, we've done the Gentle Barn.
Oh, yeah.
We were going to do Gilchrist Farms in 2020, but it got canceled. This year is families, so we've already been brainstorming. We just finished our last event, and it's like, okay, on to this year. That's a big deal for us because you work with someone so closely for sometimes a long time. Sometimes. And then afterwards, we don't want to be done. We're not done. You are now in our client family.
Kind of to like,
yes, kind of get in a little sad, when you close, but we're always there and we always keep in touch. We try to, have our touches with our clients throughout the year, whether it be through the events, whether it be through lunch, take you to lunch. I just had dinner with a client last night.
Aww.
And it's like, we sold her house 2 years ago, but I haven't seen her in a while. So it was nice to just catch up. And
that's good.
We want to always be here. That's why we named ourselves Keeping Real Estate Personal. It's like technology is great. Everything can be done online. You can see each other on Facebook or Instagram, but it takes the personal touch sometimes away if you're not doing any face-to-face. I want to see your face. I want to talk to you. I want to catch up and know about your life.
I can see why you do really good at real estate.
Well, thank you. I hope so. That's our goal. And we treat you how we would want to be treated always. When you call us, you get us. You don't get our assistant because I don't like calling somebody and not speaking to the person.
So wait, you never send them to like voicemail or?
No. Obviously, if I'm in an appointment and I can't answer at that moment, no. Okay. And then obviously we can text or, I'm in an appointment, I'll call you back in 10.
Yeah.
But no, we don't have an assistant that answers our phone for us. We want you to always get one of us.
Oh,
and that's important to us.
That's good. So then do you find most clients are like texting nowadays? Yeah.
Which, I mean, honestly, it does make it easier because if you're out and about or in an appointment or somewhere, I can always respond and it's faster. But you have different clients with different needs. Some people are like, can I call you? Can I call you? I just want to call you. And it's like, yes, hold on. Give me 10 minutes. Let me get to an area where I can hear you. Yeah. I'm also a mom, so I'm sometimes at the gymnastics place and it's very loud in there. It's like, hold on, yes, let me step out. Everybody has their own thing. And some prefer email. And it's like, okay. And that's, every person's different.
Okay. What would you say to someone who's like wants to go into the business or is thinking like, ooh, it's so lucrative. Like I can have this amazing schedule and, make money. What would you say?
I would say that this career is what you put into it. If you sit on your butt and expect to just have everything come to you, I mean, I think that's the problem. When the market's really good, tons of people get their license all of a sudden because it's like, oh, it's easy money. And it's like, it is not always good and it's not always easy. And that you get transactions where there's hiccups and there's problems and you have to be knowledgeable. You have to know what you're doing or else you are doing your clients a huge disservice. You need to always be a step ahead. Okay. You need to always be protecting your client above all else because we live in a sue happy world. I mean, let's be real.
Right.
So this is a huge, huge transaction and it needs to be cared for.
Now you're backed by Keller Williams. So are there people at the office that are like check over and look over everything?
Yes. I hang my license under the brokerage of Keller Williams. So we do have a broker there that every paper. There's a lot of paperwork in buying and selling a house. So every single piece of paper has to go through them and they have to clear it, that it's good. We're very on top of our paperwork. If you're listing with us, at the time we list with you, we give you all of the disclosures and explain how to fill them out and handhold. That's what we want to do. We want to.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you separate yourself from everyone else in the industry? Because there are so many realtors. Right. How do you stand out or make yourself different? I mean, the fact that you're a mother-daughter team, that's in and of itself kind of different and unique.
Yes.
And then you have your keeping real estate personal. How else do you stand out? That has to be so hard.
It is hard. You know what? I think there's a realtor for everybody. I mean, some people may not like my personality or my way I do things, and that's fine. But we take care of our people. Like I said, we're very big on you get us. So this is what I tell my clients. When I wake up, my phone turns on. I take it off silence and I'm on. When I go to bed, my phone turns off. Okay. So I do not have a 9-to-5 job. I have a job where I will coordinate my schedule around yours. Because if you work nights and you sleep in the day, you can't call me at 5 and me say, oh, sorry, I'm off now.
Yeah, that's true.
I have been at a client's house at 10 p.m. going over paperwork because that is what worked for her. That she had a different job and that's what worked. That's not to say I will wake up at 2 a.m. I mean, I do have boundaries, but you can always reach us.
Plus, I think you have that history too. Your mom's been in the business too, so you've seen historically, you could go to her and say what's an industry standard or historically what has happened in this situation or
Definitely.
I mean, she's probably been through it all too.
Definitely. And it's really fun because I guess that's something else that sets us apart. You get 2 for the price of 1.
Oh,
we went to 2 appointments this week where we were giving advice on how to get their house ready to list. And then we'll bounce things off each other and it becomes more of a collaboration, which I think is fun.
Yeah,
You're
that's
not
really
just
nice.
getting one person where the client's like, oh, I really wanted that. You know, you get 2 people with 2 different mindsets and coming from different places. We have a lot of clients that have been with my mom since the very beginning, back, forever ago in the 90s, that have now their kids are married and calling us. So then we're both there and we try and always be at the first appointment together, which is nice.
That's really cool.
Yeah, our hands are in the pie, both of us. So I might be the contact person for one, or she might be the contact person for one, but we are both always involved.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what's it been like to work with your mom? I know not everyone could do that. So what are the secrets? How do you get along with your coworkers.
It's her. She's just amazing. We balance each other out, which I think is nice. Have you done the Enneagrams?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it.
I looked at even the Enneagram of it, and she's a perfectionist, and that was one of my lowest, which I just find funny because obviously we both do things well and the same, but there are things that she does better, and then there are things I do better, and together it just works really well. And because we're mom and daughter, I mean, we can call each other out if we need to. It's not, I don't know about you, but I'm not the type that's going to be, I don't want a ton of conflict with a fellow worker of mine.
Oh, yeah.
So,
no, yeah. But sometimes it's like just differences of personalities, or you withhold because you don't want to offend.
Right.
And then it like festers. But I feel like with a mom, you could kind of be like, if there's a good relationship, you're just kind of like, hey, mom, like,
yes.
No.
And then you're done. Yeah. And then it's just, I enjoy being with her, and I enjoy, she's very smart. She's been in this business for a very long time, and I've seen how she takes care of her clients, and she always goes above and beyond, which is what has made me always go above and beyond. At least I hope I do, and at least I hope that portrays to my clients. But we had a client that lived out of state, and we had to coordinate all kinds of contractors to come in and out, and painters and this and that, which is normal. That's fine. But then they got there and they're like, well, we don't take down shelving. Well, we don't take down blinds. Well, we don't do this. So my mom and I got our drills, and we're like,
oh, stop.
You know, and that's,
oh my gosh.
We'll get in there. We'll get our hands dirty. We've been scrubbing toilets and scrubbing floors before. I mean, if we're showing up to a photography appointment and it's just looking a little bare, we've run home and gotten our own things to stage it.
Yeah,
if it's
you really
a vacant
go above
house.
and beyond.
Yeah, we try.
That's
to.
Good. What about for your clients? I think you mentioned before, did I see this somewhere, like on a post of yours, like you hosted like a welcome party for the neighborhood or something?
Yeah.
Tell me about that. I was like, oh, that's so cute.
That was fun. We had clients move from Glendale. So they didn't know anybody in Santa Clarita, and they moved on this adorable flat cul-de-sac in Castaic, and that was our gift to them. Was we wanted to throw them a welcome to the block party. So we did door knock on that one because we were giving out invitations, and we went around the whole neighborhood and invited everyone. We had drinks and food and a face painter and bubbles and hula hoops, and it was just it was nice. And it was a chance for them to meet their neighbors. And now they're very plugged in.
What do you like best about selling real estate in Santa Clarita?
I like that I can personally vouch that it's a really great place to live. Mm-hmm. I mean, I went to school in Long Beach, and it was one of those, do we want to go somewhere else and kind of settle here? I was already with my now husband, and where do we want to be? Right. And Santa Clarita was always one of those amazing places. This is a great place to raise your kids. I can personally vouch for the concerts in the parks in the summer and the New Hall, Maine things that they do on Thursdays. And it's just fun. And I think the city really takes care of one another. I think the people are kind. I love that about Santa Clarita.
No, that's true. You know, good schools, safe, all the things. So you can't go wrong. What about if someone just calls you, do they interview you? Do they like get advice? Like how does that work?
We've had all of the above.
You've had all of it.
Yep. So 98% of our business is repeat business from past clients and or referrals.
Nice.
So we don't get tons of online strangers calling us. Okay. We have, or sign calls. The people that we did the block party, they actually called off of our sign because they were driving around.
Funny.
That they bought our listing. Yeah. So that doesn't usually happen though. Usually we know the people, or we at least know who they came from. Okay. But yes, we have been interviewed many times. I mean, I think that's one of the misconceptions about realtors is that it's all about the paycheck. That's what they're after. And
or like sales, like they're going to talk you into this home because
I hate that we're called salespeople. I hate it because I'm not, and we're not. That's just not how we do this. If you walk into a home, I am looking for very specific things. I am looking for you to love it.
Okay. Like our reaction to it?
Yes. Okay. It's a feeling when you walk into your home, if this is going to be your home or not. Okay. And I have had people come in and say, oh, well, I love this house, but I want the kitchen and the living room and the living room over here. And it's like, maybe you don't love this house then. Or I had one say they wanted to move the staircase. It's like, this is the bones of the house. So, but then there's others where you just walk in. I just had a text from my client this week. I think I posted it, where they were just ready to buy. They bought in Happy Valley. And she texted and just said, I cannot tell you how happy I am in my home. Aww. Every day I drive down the street, she just can't believe she lives there, and she's so happy. And it's like, that's why I do this.
Yeah, you really do get to make like dreams come true for people. It doesn't get better than that.
And it's just, I want that for you.
Is it hard to navigate like difficult news? Like you didn't get the offer?
Yes. Yes. And it's funny. I'm gonna keep bouncing around with clients. Okay. So I had clients that I actually showed them for 2 years. They're one of my very favorite people. I love them so much, but they always joke with me like, you're never gonna want to work with us again. But obviously not true. I love them. But they would make an offer, and if they didn't get it, they would go into what we called the mourning period, where it was like, there was a good month or so where they just didn't want to look at anything because they were sad. And then they'd come back out and they would look. And it was so fun. But I started showing them when she told me she was pregnant, and we actively looked. Some didn't work out for whatever reasons. But then they closed escrow on
Oh
one week before their kid's first birthday.
Oh my gosh.
So it was almost 2 years.
Wow.
But it was great. I mean, that was another one where it's like, oh my gosh, I've been talking to you on a very consistent basis for 2 years. And then you close escrow and it's like, I miss you.
That has been a long time.
I miss you.
Do you feel like, too, you're good about like knowing like then that wasn't the house that was meant to be, but you have to like kind of be really compassionate for the client, because to them it's like there's not going to be anything else that comes along. You know, it's hard to see.
I know. And I've even experienced it with my own personal life. When we've made offers on things back in the day in our very first home. Made offer, we didn't get it. I'm so bummed. That was the perfect house. Yeah. And then when you actually get the one you get, it's like, oh, thank God those didn't work. Like, no. I wouldn't have liked this. I wouldn't have liked this. I got my house.
Yeah, so many questions. Like, do you see homes and do you always want to move because you're just like, oh, this is better? Or do you always want to like redo your home because you see like the latest trends or kitchen ideas or
trends and redoing? Yes. Moving, no. I do love my home. I am one of those that when I saw my house, my eyes, actually, it was on my goal board.
Was it really?
Oh, yeah. From when I'm in the Miramontes. And since they were built, literally, because my mom was a realtor and she showed people in there and we drove through and I was like, I'm going to live here. This is where I want.
That's so cool.
Even the model, the exact model with it, I love my house.
So cool.
No, I don't want to move, but ideas and designs. That's what comes into your rapid fire of if you had unlimited. I'm like, money so I could do things to my house all the time.
Right.
That would be amazing.
And then what about like networking? So being in the industry, is it important to know other realtors? Like why would that be important?
So important. So it's funny. Especially 2020, 2021, we did have a lot of out-of-area agents coming in. People that are moving from, the valley or wherever they're coming from, and they bring their agent. When you don't know how that agent works, they don't know Santa Clarita, we have certain things that we need versus the valley. It does make a difference. It does. Relationships are huge. You need to show that you know what you're doing. You get your paperwork in on time. I mean, there are timelines. My job is very time sensitive. So when you open an escrow, you have certain amounts of days to get things done. And if you're not doing that, or if you're one of the agents that don't answer your phone when there's a problem, that happens. When there's a problem, everybody goes scared, and all of a sudden you're not getting your answers, and you're not getting your phone calls answered, and it's like, no. When there's a problem, you especially need to pick up your phone. I need answers.
Yeah.
So it's very, very important. But I will say, I was surprised in this industry. You would think agents are competing all the time. Yeah. Because we all want your business, right? I have found, at least with the agents that I surround myself with, everybody is we have classes at my office of the top producers, and we all share, what's something you do that's working? What's something you do? What's this? And we all really try and help each other, because the area I am, they call it farming.
That's really good. Like, because there is really plenty to go around. I mean, you don't want that scarcity mindset.
Right.
But I think that you're just putting out also like that good energy, good vibes too, like helping each other and not like being so cutting and
and they're out there. They are. We would never, if you tell me there's one agent out here and I love her so much. So I have multiple friends that used her way before we were even friends. Okay. And they have told me like, oh, I would use you, but I use her and I love her. And I'm like, I love her too. I am so happy that you're using her, because it's, first of all, I would always want my clients to be loyal to me. I would always want them to say, you're my good friend. I love you, but I've used her and she's been good to me. I want that same respect to me.
Yeah.
Or at least I hope that that's what happens. So I would never be mad And I love that she has created that with her clients, and she's awesome. I've worked with her many times. She is one of those where if I see her clients wrote an offer, I'm like, ooh, yes, I know she'll get the job done.
Oh, nice.
Which is good.
Does anything like stand out?
Yeah, who's the worst agent in town?
Oh my gosh, I know the scoop. You're so good about that. You won't say like who the worst is or like client wise. I'm like, tell me a juicy story.
That'll be cut out for sure.
There's definitely some. Well, and that's the thing too, is if you get somebody, why these people aren't called out for what it is. Who's taking pictures with their cell phones? Why are you taking pictures of a listing of the toilet in the bathroom? Like, how many pictures? If you go through the MLS pictures and it's like, why? Why is this even in here? No, you need a professional photographer always. Cell phones are great.
People have like drones now.
Yeah, you need that.
I mean, they make the house look like the Bachelor Mansion. Like they hose the driveway.
I've
I was like,
totally been there doing that. Oh yeah. And then you could
so
do the night shots. If you have a backyard that's super great and has all these lights and whatever, you can get them to come back and do a night shoot for you. And this is not the time to be skimpy. I mean, these houses, we don't live in a cheap area. These are expensive homes and they deserve professional photography.
Okay, what about like how accurate is the pictures you see online to the house in person? Like if you see a watered down driveway.
I know. Our photographer is very good about that. He's very good. I haven't had anybody say that it didn't look like the pictures in a negative way. If anything, I've heard that the home is even better than they expected. Which I like. I haven't gotten feedback otherwise, but I do see that. There's filters. Don't do filters.
Filters?
That's
so cool.
Not
I
on
know
a
for
home.
like a selfie, but like
I know. Or even certain lenses that make things look bigger. It's like, no, if the yard is really small, some yards are small, take the best pictures you can, but don't like do things and alter the picture to make it look bigger. That's just...
What about a client? Do they go like has anyone knocked on the door of the neighbors to find out like what kind of neighborhood it is? Or
I have had clients do that. Just to say, we're thinking about this house. What do you like about it? And that's okay.
Okay.
That's totally on them to investigate. But
any other like funny stories or little insider tips maybe?
Insider tips.
Is it good to get to know your neighbors? Like, would you recommend, would you do that? Have you ever gone around? Or
No,
you drive by a bunch, like, when you're really interested in the house, right? So you kind of, check it out at all times
and
of day.
we do. We tell our clients that. Like, if you're worried about what it sounds like at night, or if you're worried about the safety, or if you're worried about this and that, come at all hours. Come at night, park on the block, and just kind of hang out there for a little bit, see what's happening.
Yeah.
It's funny. You do have to disclose if there's neighborhood nuisances.
Oh, really?
Is how it's worded. And even my first house, they disclosed that the people across the street were in a band. And so they play. And it's like, what hours do they play? And they were great. And we made friends with them and it was fine. And you could always be like, shh, if need be. But yeah, that's things that should always be told.
Really? Okay.
You can investigate it for yourself. It's very, very important to do every investigation you can in the beginning of your escrow.
So what could a seller do to make their home more enticing to a buyer?
First, decluttering is huge. So when we go in to get your house ready to sell, not everyone wants to get staging. I mean, some people have their own furniture. So we want to use your furniture and put it in the most inviting way. So declutter, things on counters, things on bathroom counters, 1, maybe 2 on a bathroom, and then things on mantles or shelves, we say the rule of 3. So 18 pictures, let's take those down. Don't take all pictures down. I get asked that all the time. Really? Should we take down our family pictures? No, you should not. You go in model homes and you see pictures of families. And there's a reason. It makes a home a home. So definitely don't take down your pictures. But don't have all your tchotchkes and all your collections and all of your things out. We want to make it look as close to a model as you can.
Okay.
But you're still living there. Then as far as showings go, you leave on all the lights. You open all the blinds. You make it as bright as you can. We tell our clients to get plugins like the vanilla, something where they walk in and it kind of smells like cookies and it makes them feel like they just want to cozy up on the couch and live there. So
what about do real estate agents get creative for open houses? Like, come get an ice cream cone and check out the house. Oh, yeah.
We did root beer floats at one on a really hot day. And that was okay. I will say this.
But do you get looky-loos? People that just want the...
Oh, yeah. Open houses do not typically sell a home. Oh. I mean, less than 1% of homes are purchased through an open house. Okay. If you were a qualified buyer, you would have seen the house on the MLS. You would have probably already come through with your agent. So do open houses sell houses? Not typically. But I had one situation where we had clients that were buying another property or looking for another property. We were listing her home. Somebody else was listing their house and needed to be out of their house for their open house. So they came to ours because they heard of root beer floats and got really excited. So they brought all their kids. They ended up buying our house and our clients bought their house.
Stop.
And supposedly it's all because of the root beer floats.
Oh,
there
gosh.
are not very many stories like that.
Home heaven from a root beer float.
No, right? It worked out so perfectly. One was downsizing, one was upgrading, and it worked.
Does that ever happen where like people swap houses essentially?
That was the only one of that
so funny.
that I've done.
What about like,
crazy.
do people just move like a mile away?
Oh, yeah. Yes,
Like,
they do. Yes, they do. And then I've also, we've had clients that, I had one client that always toyed with the idea of selling. Maybe we would sell, maybe not. And then I had a buyer who was like, we were writing letters to the neighborhood. She wanted that specific neighborhood.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
what she wanted. Yeah. So we weren't getting anything. It was back when there was nothing on the market. There's still very little on the market, but nothing on the market. So I told that friend, hey, if you are considering buying, I have a buyer that would actually love this house. And she bought it. So it was one of those where she was like, let's do it if we can find a house. I showed them one house. They loved it. It was one of those where I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for what's going to drop. This was way too good to be true. And it all worked out. They both loved their new homes. Jeez.
I think that's something I didn't expect. Like as a homeowner, I have gotten a letter before. Like we have people quite interested in this neighborhood, and you're like, oh wow, that's so funny.
And sometimes they're sales tactics. But it's funny. One of our other clients I got from the letter because I asked if anyone was selling their home in there for those exact buyers. Actually, this is all tying in. These are the root beer float people that ended up calling me. She called and asked she was going through a divorce and needed comps on her house for an appraisal. So I didn't know her. She didn't have another agent. So I gave her comps, never spoke to her again, actually. And a year and a half later, she was like, you were so great. You answered. You got me the comps right away. I've never forgotten you. I need to list my house. And it's like,
that's so cool that it comes back around sometimes.
It does. And that's what's so important about providing good service. You want to be somebody that they remember you even 2 years later. I couldn't believe she still remembered.
That's great.
And I would never, she goes, I can pay you for this. I was like, I would never charge you to get you comps. Like, no. But it did work out to where now she's a client and an amazing friend of ours.
That's so cool. Yeah, that's just a testament to who you are, though, too. Right. You were providing that service and then just your personality, too. So personality is so important. If people like what they've heard today and they want to work with you or it plants a seed and later down the road,
that would be wonderful.
They want to work with you, how would they contact you?
Text or call, always. We have our website at keepingrealestatepersonal.com or keepingrealestatepersonal@gmail.com is our email. Actually goes to both of us.
I will post your phone number in the show notes and like your links to social media. Is there anything else like that you want to mention that maybe we haven't talked about yet?
If you are moving out of state or considering moving out of state, it's really important to not just go online and find someone randomly. We have contacts in various states that we have worked with personally. Arizona was a big one. Texas was a big one. We've gotten contacts that we've made there that we know they will take care of you. Nice. So that's important. And they keep us in the loop too. So we can kind of still be there with you, especially if you're selling here and they're going hand in hand where you need the money from this one to buy that one. It's important you have a good collaborative relationship.
Okay.
So yes, we can definitely help with that. Here's one thing that people need to know about buying.
Okay.
Don't go to open houses without your realtor's business card.
Oh, yeah.
Or new home builds.
Okay.
Do not go for your very first time without your agent.
Wow.
They will not let us represent you.
So even if I think, like, I don't want to bother you, I'm just going to go look, like, no, call you.
Please bother me.
Okay.
It doesn't bother me, A.
Okay.
And I only have to be with you the first time. Okay. And then you're locked in, I believe now it's 90 days, that you can go anytime you want with anyone you want without me. But I have to be there your very first time.
Okay.
And I have to sign you in or else I can't represent you. And that's a big deal, especially with new homes. They do have agents there. You would be given to one, but they're representing both. And I just feel that it's important you have your own person, someone that is looking out just for you.
Ooh.
We did that with one of the new home builds, and I was representing my client, but she had an issue where she said, no, they told us it's in our contract that we're going to get a fireplace. And the lady comes back and says, no, there's no fireplace. I told you that it wasn't going to be included. And I had to step in and be like, it's in the contract that she gets one.
Oh,
so
no.
she's going to get one. I mean, the contracts always supersede your conversations. And they were just trying to pull one over on her.
Aww.
So you need somebody in your corner.
That's so good. That's good advice.
And they don't tell you that.
Yeah.
They have one little sign in the front that kind of says that. But if you're already there, you're not going to be like, oh,
I didn't know
hold
they
on.
represented like both. Like they would
Yeah.
serve as both parties.
Yeah.
And then, that you could
they-
bring your realtor and have them because you might need someone to vouch for you in your corner.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And we're still there. We would do an inspection for you. We would be there at your final walkthrough where you're going through new homes. They're new and they're beautiful. And usually, they should be fine. But there are still plenty of things that should be fixed before you take keys. Because once you take keys, you can still go back and there's warranties and stuff. But it's a little bit harder. When you're still in escrow, they're like, close this thing. So you're like, this needs to be fixed. And this,
Right.
and you need somebody with that expertise. You do. You need
Okay.
someone in your corner, and we can't do it there. We've had some where they are a little bit more lenient. Like I do remember them. Fine, I'll let this slide. I have been slidden.
Okay.
But they don't like that.
Oh,
You need-
man.
and
Okay.
definitely don't talk to them about plots and this and this and if you're talking to them about that, that would probably mean a lot less likely of a chance that they would let us step in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's huge.
So when else would you need a realtor?
I don't
New
think people
homes.
know how we get paid.
How do you get paid?
The
Okay.
seller pays all realtor costs. So they pay me if I was your buyer's agent, or they pay me if I was the one representing you in the sale.
Oh.
And I don't think people know that because buyers have come to me saying, how much do you charge?
Oh.
And for them, nothing. It will come back. I mean, obviously when they sell, they will have to pay the realtor fees, but that's why sellers' closing costs are always much higher.
Okay. Okay.
Do your due diligence, find somebody you can trust. If you are, going to, as a buyer, if you are offered an incentive, I know there have been certain companies that will give you an incentive to use them.
Okay.
And
what does that mean? Like
I'll
a
give
free
you a
house
closing
cleaning
cost
or
credit.
a closing
Or
cost
I'll
credit.
charge you less for XYZ. Always call your preferred realtor, hopefully yes, and tell them that. First of all, if it's legit and something, we want the best for you. So if they can do something we cannot, or if it is an actual better deal for you, we want that for you.
Okay.
If it's something we can match, if it's, they're offering me this, give me the opportunity to match it.
Okay.
So I can still know that you're represented and taken care of, because these companies, they're not all good. And if they're online especially, it's like you don't have somebody that has been working for your business. So if you drop off the face of the planet and don't call them again, they don't care.
Oh,
Versus
wow. Yeah.
me or somebody like me, we strive to keep your business. That is our goal. That's why we keep in touch through the year. That's why we do our events. That's why we try and always provide value, is so that you call us when you need us. And it's important to do that. It's important with lenders too. And we have lenders we recommend.
No, yeah.
But everybody shops online. Everyone thinks that they can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, Zillow had their own agents for a little bit, and it's like, Zillow, they don't care about you. I care about you.
Yeah.
So
And you're just like a person. Sometimes I want a person right in front of me to like
yes,
walk me through all these terms and conditions.
Right.
It's like you're signing your life away, really. I mean.
Right. Well, and that's what's so important too, is I think everything can be done online. We try and keep it where it's still personal, even though technology is there as well to help us.
And I think that's it. Like you are so personal, you and your mom. And so I think that's the added value that you can't buy online. You can't get from a stranger. Like you really nurture this community with your clients. And so
That's our goal.
That's good.
Literally what we strive to do.
Aw.
So we want, like I said, we've got our client family, and it's funny because we go to classes where it's like your database, and database is very important. We don't really have strangers in our database. It is people that we like. This is our sphere. These are our people that we have worked with or talked to, and we there's not many people that fall off. We don't. If you move, obviously you move, and that's different. But
that's good.
We stay very connected.
That's really good.
We try. SCV connected.
Yeah, I could definitely
Plug in.
vouch too. I could vouch for you. You were our realtor, and great job. And we've been a part of your client parties and everything. And it is really nice to be a part of a community too.
Yes. So. Well, that's what's fun about the events. Is like we're bringing together a bunch of people that don't know each other.
Right.
I mean, some do. Some do, but a lot of people don't, and they all come together, and I guess we're the common thread. But It's just
It
a
just
fun
works, though.
event.
Yeah, it
it's
is.
just fun, and we try and make it. At least I hope it's fun. We've done it forever. I think this year was our 16th or
Oh my
something
goodness!
like that.
Wow. Okay.
So it's always been something that we do once a year, and it's just so fun.
Aw,
We enjoy
that's
it.
good.
I hope you do. I hope they do.
Well, we hope the guest or the listener listening today is invited to the next one. So
Yes, I
hopefully
know.
They call you. They mention SCV Connected.
Yes.
And they can find you on Facebook, Instagram, by email. They can look you up on Yelp.
Yep.
You could just Google Megan Pratchard or Lynneve
or
Hays.
Megan and Lynneve.
Yeah.
Yep. That
Okay.
we pop up. That's where we are.
There you go. Thank you
Okay.
so much, Megan Pratchard, for being here with us today with Keeping Real Estate Personal.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem.